Welcome back to another Explainer. Today, we're talking about 2025. And let me tell you, this wasn't just another year of incremental updates or minor tweaks. It was a massive threshold. Science fiction literally became reality through an absolute explosion of tangible physical inventions. We're going to dive right into the exact breakthroughs that are fundamentally reshaping our reality right now, focusing entirely on the sheer scale of invention that defined this era.
To really grasp the scale of what we're dealing with, think about this number, 10 to the 25th power. That's how many years a classical supercomputer would need to crunch one specific, highly complex calculation. But in 2025, a newly invented quantum chip knocked it out in 5 minutes. 5 minutes! We're talking about compressing a timeline longer than the age of the universe into the time it takes to brew your morning coffee. This kind of scale is exactly what we're tracking today, taking a journey from the incredibly microscopic all the way out to the cosmic.
So it really begs the question, did we just witness the greatest year of invention in human history? Honestly, when you look at the sheer tsunami of technology moving straight out of the lab and into the real world, it's a question we absolutely have to take seriously. Because for sure, these inventions are about to change everything about how you live.
To make sense of this overwhelming wave of innovation, we're going to break this explainer down across 4 scales of invention: the subatomic frontier, the biological revolution, the human-machine interface, and finally, planetary and cosmic horizons.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the subatomic frontier, mastering the quantum realm. We're starting at the absolute smallest scale, right where theoretical physics finally meets hard engineering. The year's breakthroughs were really anchored at the very top by the 2025 Nobel Prize in Physics. It went to Martinez, Dvorak, and Clark for discovering macroscopic quantum mechanical tunneling and energy quantization in an electric circuit. Basically, it's the physics of particles seemingly passing right through solid walls. And it gave us the actual physical blueprint to build and manipulate quantum states inside real-world circuits. And the resulting paradigm shift is just staggering. Enter Google's Willow quantum chip. It packs 105 superconducting qubits. But here's the real game changer. They achieved error correction. They went below threshold, which means as they added more qubits, the errors actually dropped. That is the exact chip that did that 5-minute calculation we talked about earlier. The one that would take our best classical supercomputers 10 to the 25th power years. It is just a monumental leap in computational invention. But the crucial takeaway here is that we're way past isolated lab experiments. Look at these 6 trends from industry analyst SpinQ. You can see the entire field rapidly maturing into a commercial industry. We've got error correction maturing, highly specialized hardware and software being invented for specific problems, and even novel physical qubit materials being fabricated. The quantum invention engine is fully operational. These impossible machines are finally gearing up for the commercial market.
Moving on up the physical scale to Section 2, the biological revolution and human-scale physiological inventions. The sheer velocity of medical invention in early 2025 was breathtaking. Just mapping out the first few months, in January, we got the first fully 3D printed microscope from the University of Strathclyde, printed in hours for a fraction of the usual cost. By April, we saw a revolutionary biodegradable pacemaker, and in May, the NHS actually launched a world-first gonorrhea vaccine. The pace of applied, life-saving invention happening back-to-back is just off the charts. To really ground this, let's zoom in on that pacemaker from Northwestern University. This thing is the world's smallest pacemaker, measuring just 3.5 millimeters long. It's literally so tiny it fits inside the tip of a syringe for a non-invasive injection. But here is the absolute magic of this invention. It is designed for temporary use, and it safely biodegrades right inside your body when you don't need it anymore. It's a perfect masterclass in merging microengineering with human biology. But it wasn't just hardware. 2025 was a massive year for genetic inventions. We saw CRISPR and gene editing therapies hit milestones that will directly impact how long we live. One new gene editing therapy successfully cut cholesterol levels in half. And in another massive breakthrough, CRISPR-directed editing actually reversed chemotherapy resistance in solid tumors, like lung cancer. We aren't just building new devices anymore, we are inventing the actual tools to rewrite our own biological code. All right, Section 3, the human-machine interface. We're looking at the rise of AI and robotics. To really grasp the software inventions of 2025, we have to stop and ask a brand new question.
What exactly is agentic AI? Because let me tell you, we have moved so far past your standard chatbots. Agentic AI is all about autonomous software systems. These are systems that can perceive their environment, make their own decisions, and take actions toward specific goals with very limited human oversight. The real invention here isn't a machine that just types out an answer to a question. It's a system that actually goes out and does things for you, managing multi-step processes completely on its own. And in 2025, that autonomous intelligence finally got a physical body. This was the year humanoid robots actually left the lab and stepped into real-world utility. After decades of cool but impractical demos, concurrent inventions in AI, advanced actuation, and environmental perception made it happen. The humanoid robot is no longer just a sci-fi prop or a viral video stunt. It is a rapidly deploying, commercially viable tool.
Meanwhile, the digital layer around us became incredibly immersive. Spatial computing hardware saw rapid invention and iteration. Meta grabbed a massive 74.6% of the XR market share, while Apple dropped their M5-powered Vision Pro. But maybe the most surprising stat? 40% of healthcare providers are now using VR for patient treatment and staff training. These inventions have completely broken out of the entertainment niche. They've become critical, everyday enterprise infrastructure.
Finally, Section 4, Planetary and Cosmic Horizons. We are zooming all the way out. Back here on Earth, inventors went head-to-head with our biggest climate challenges, creating some wild new materials and energy tech. For instance, scientists invented a way to generate electricity from falling rainwater using vertical tubes, capturing over 10% of the water's energy. Over in material science, researchers at the University of Toronto used machine learning and 3D printing to invent nano-architected materials that are as strong as carbon steel but as light as styrofoam. These are the tangible inventions that will quite literally build your sustainable future.
Now let's look up. 128. That is the mind-blowing number of new moons discovered orbiting Saturn in March 2025 alone. Thanks to incredibly inventive new telescopic tools and data analysis methods, our map of the cosmos is expanding faster than ever. I mean, Saturn now has more moons than all the other planets combined.
And our view is about to get even sharper. The $810 million Vera Rubin Observatory just opened in Chile, promising our best look yet at distant galaxies. Physicist Tony Tyson, whose digital camera inventions were absolutely crucial to this telescope, dreamt this project up 30 years ago. Looking back at the massive undertaking, he said, "It was high risk, high reward. We took the risk." I love that. It perfectly captures the daring, human spirit behind every single one of these scientific breakthroughs.
So we've journeyed from quantum tunneling in microcircuits to biodegradable pacemakers, from autonomous AI agents all the way to mapping the deepest corners of the universe. 2025 proved without a doubt that the barrier between science fiction and reality is completely gone. So I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on as we wrap up this explainer. When the tools of tomorrow exist today, what will you invent?